Did you know that a race of superhumans is missing from our lineage? Let's trace the evolution of man as science teaches us. Humans evolved from Australopithecus to Homo sapiens, a tidy, linear story, or so we thought. But in 2008, a strange finger bone was discovered in Denisova cave in Siberia. This tiny fragment didn't match any known human or Neanderthal DNA. Instead, it opened a door to a strange, omitted civilization. What was this civilization? Is there more evidence of their existence? And what happened to them? Together, we'll explore these mysteries in this episode of Fabelon Stories. Welcome. It all started small. So small you might have overlooked it. A tiny fragment of bone, unearthed in 2008 from the Denisova cave, seemed insignificant at first. Perhaps a Neanderthal scrap? Perhaps a modern human? When geneticists sequenced its DNA, they froze. It wasn't Neanderthal. It wasn't Homo sapiens. It was something entirely new, a young Denisovan girl who lived about 50,000 years ago. This discovery shattered our neat evolutionary tree of humans and Neanderthals, proving another human species walked the earth alongside us. And yet, history books ignore them. If you've never heard of Denisovans, you're not alone. But their DNA is everywhere. Modern populations in Tibet, Mongolia, Papua New Guinea, and Australia may carry up to 5% Denisovan DNA. A whole species vanished, yet living within us. Fossils? Almost nothing. A pinky bone? A few molars. A jawbone high on the Tibetan plateau. A possible skull in China? And yet their genetic imprint is massive, rewiring our physiology. How could a species so important leave almost no trace? When news of the Denisovans broke in 2010, anthropology was shaken. For decades, the story was simple. Humans evolved in Africa, Neanderthals lived in Europe, and the two occasionally crossed paths. Clean, neat. Denisovans destroyed that neatness. The finger bone led to mitochondrial DNA evidence, uncovering a lost cousin hiding in plain sight. And they weren't marginal. They were global players, shaping immune systems, bodies, and possibly even minds. Yet their fossils remained almost non-existent. Across Asia, fragments hint at a robust species. Their skulls and jawbones are massive, powerful, not fragile. The Harbin skull, nicknamed Dragon Man, reveals a huge cranial cavity, heavy brow ridges, and a robust jaw. The Shahi mandible has molars so large they seem almost alien. Estimates suggest Denisovan brain cases were 20% larger than ours, wired in ways we don't fully understand. Could they have been superior humans forgotten by history? Bigger doesn't always mean smarter, but Denisovan DNA tells a fascinating story. Unique neural pathways suggest brains capable of memory, pattern recognition, and problem-solving at levels we can barely imagine. Across Asia, myths speak of giants with extraordinary wisdom. Could these legends preserve memories of Denisovans? Shamans in Tibet tell of sky-born ancestors. In Mongolia, robust warriors inhabited mountain fortresses. Even the Bible mentions Nephilim giants. Fossils reinforce the myths. Oversized skulls, mandibles, and molars hint at a species far stronger than modern humans. Denisovans were built for extremes, physically powerful and cognitively advanced. And fragments of their genius survive within our DNA. Across Asia, oral traditions tell of massive beings among humans. Tibetan shamans, Mongolian elders, and even ancient texts hint at giants who walked the earth. Science provides corroboration. Tibetans thrive at 14,000 feet, oxygen-thin air that would cripple most humans. Their secret? A Denisovan gene variant called EPAS1, which fine-tunes red blood cells for extreme altitudes. Imagine this. While our ancestors clung to valleys, Denisovans thrived above the clouds, conquering environments modern humans could not. The legends of giants and hidden mountain civilizations suddenly feel tangible, grounded in biology and DNA. Denisovan DNA didn't just help high-altitude survival. It passed disease resistance to modern populations across Asia and Oceania, shielding them from pathogens that decimated others. Their DNA also hints at longevity. Neural resilience and slower cell degradation suggest Denisovans may have aged more slowly and endured physical extremes. Combine robust frames, super lungs, elite immunity, and cognitive advantages, and you have a species engineered for survival. Fragments of these superpowers remain within us, quietly influencing our physiology, adaptation, and perhaps cognition. Denisovans were not just physically and mentally extraordinary, they were culturally sophisticated. In Denisova Cave, archaeologists discovered a polished chloridolite bracelet dating 40,000, 70,000 years ago, drilled with rotary precision technology unknown to Homo sapiens for millennia. In 2016, a 7-centimeter bone needle was found, the world's oldest sewing needle, suggesting Denisovans made tailored clothing, planning and crafting with precision. They also left behind beads, pendants, and engraved stones, indicating symbolic art, culture, and possibly spirituality. This wasn't survival, it was civilization. Mount Shaurya in Siberia hosts stone blocks weighing over 3,000 tons, stacked with precision. Across Mongolia and Central Asia, similar megaliths appear, perfectly cut slabs, strategically placed, and astronomically aligned. These structures require mathematics, observation, and generational knowledge. Could Denisovans have been the original engineers behind such feats? Perhaps later civilizations inherited these skills, following a blueprint left behind by a species far beyond their time. Picture a team of Denisovans moving massive stones flawlessly, without written language, guided by a collective intelligence. Their neural wiring may have enabled coordination and memory we cannot yet comprehend. Denisovans may have been a super civilization, capable of advanced thought and almost instantaneous coordination. Their brains, 20% larger than ours, hint at mental capacities beyond modern humans. Artifacts, megaliths, and symbolic tools reveal a society organized, creative, and culturally complex. And fragments of their genius remain in us, flowing through our DNA, silent proof of a civilization that could have been humanity's equal or even its superior. Yet around 40,000 years ago, Denisovans vanished. Did Homo sapiens outcompete them? Did conflict or even prehistoric genocide play a role? Some legends suggest a different fate. Withdrawal into hidden mountain realms like Shambhala, surviving in secret while the world changed. Catastrophe may have struck too. Around 12,800 years ago, the Younger Dryas event brought floods, landslides, and ice sheet collapses. Entire civilizations could have been erased overnight, perhaps including the Denisovans. Their disappearance remains a mystery. But fragments of their DNA, artifacts, and stories endure, echoes of a species lost but not forgotten. The Denisovans, a super-civilization of brains, brawn, and ingenuity, walked the Earth long before history noticed. They mastered extreme environments, crafted precise tools, and encoded knowledge in stone. Yet today they exist only in fragments, fossils, myths, and our DNA. Their legacy remains alive. In high-altitude adaptation, immunity, cognitive hints, and the whispered stories of giants and hidden kingdoms. Their civilization challenges everything we thought we knew about the human past. What else have we lost? And what treasures lie hidden, waiting for discovery? If this journey captivated you, subscribe to Fabelon stories for more hidden histories, lost civilizations, and forgotten secrets of our world. Turn on the bell, dive deep, and join us as we uncover the stories that shaped humanity, and perhaps left a mark inside us all.